Before we start, drop a comment. Where are you watching from, and have you ever wondered what really happens at Area 51? If the idea of telepathic aliens underground gives you chills, hit that like button. Subscribe for more classified military encounters that never made the news. Now let's begin. September 20th, 2019. Area 51, Groom Lake, Nevada. That's where I learned that the truth about extraterrestrials isn't what anyone thinks. It's not about disclosure or peaceful contact or advanced technology that could save humanity. It's about territory. It's about war. It's about the fact that they were here first, and we built our most secret facility on top of their prison. I am Corporal Marcus Webb. I serve in the 2nd Marine Division, Reconnaissance Unit. I am one of 2 people who survived a security breach that occurred 7 layers below the Nevada desert. This breach resulted in the deaths of 8 Marines within 48 hours. It was the kind of breach the government would never approve. It happened while the world laughed off the Storm Area 51 joke. We were the distraction's casualties. The real story, the classified reality, while millions joked about seeing them aliens on social media. Let me tell you what actually happened at Area 51 in September 2019. The assignment came through normal channels. Special Security Detail. Groom Lake AFB. 72-hour rotation. 10 Marines. Standard clearance upgrade required. Nothing unusual about that. Marines get assigned to classified facilities all the time. We protect things we can't talk about. That's the job. What was unusual was the briefing. Usually, you get some version of protect the perimeter, don't ask questions, don't talk about what you see. This time was different. You're being read into a program that officially doesn't exist, the briefing officer said. He was Air Force Colonel. Name tag said Patterson, but I doubt that was real. What you're about to see has been classified above top secret since 1947. Some of it has been classified for much longer than that. You will sign documents. You will undergo psychological evaluation. You will never speak of this to anyone outside this program, ever, for the rest of your lives. Clear? Clear, sir. Good. Report to Groom Lake at 1800. Bring nothing personal, no phones, no cameras, no electronic devices of any kind. You'll be issued everything you need. We flew into Groom Lake that evening. Janet Airlines, the classified shuttle that runs from Las Vegas to Area 51. White, 737 with no markings. Everyone on board was either military or contractor. Everyone looked like they were heading to work at a normal job. Except normal jobs don't require you to sign your life away under threat of federal prosecution. The base looked smaller than I'd imagined. You see satellite photos online. Google Earth shows you runways and hangars. What it doesn't show you is what's underneath. What's been underneath since long before 1947. What's been there for thousands of years. We were met by Site Commander Colonel Patricia Vance, 50 years old, hard face, colder eyes. She'd been stationed at Groom Lake for 15 years, had that look of someone who'd seen things that changed how they understood reality. "Welcome to Groom Lake," she said. "You're here because you have the highest psychological stability ratings in your units, because you can handle stress, because you won't break when confronted with things that contradict everything you think you know about the universe. You're going to need all of that." She walked us across the tarmac to a nondescript building. From the outside, it looked like any other Air Force facility. Concrete, no windows. Security checkpoint at the door. Inside was different. The elevator had buttons for 3 floors above ground and 12 below. "We're going to level 7, Vance said. "Each level you descend, the classification level increases. Level 1 is standard classified material. Aircraft, weapons, technology. Level 4 is where we keep the really advanced stuff. Theoretical physics. Propulsion systems we don't understand. Level 7 is where we keep the biological assets. Biological assets, ma'am? That was Corporal Sarah Chen, 25. Smart, direct. She asked the questions the rest of us were thinking. You'll see. The elevator descended. Through level 1, 2, 3, each level required additional biometric scans. Retinal, fingerprint, voice recognition. At level 5, we had to pass through a full-body scanner and a detector that looked for electronic devices implanted under skin. Why would someone have electronics implanted? Private Jackson asked. They wouldn't, Vance replied. But something else might. That should have been our first warning, but we were Marines, trained to follow orders, trained to handle threats, trained to believe we could handle anything. We weren't ready for level 7. The elevator opened onto a corridor that looked more like a hospital than a military facility. White walls, LED lighting, the smell of disinfectant and something else, something organic, something that made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Level 7 houses 6 biological entities, Vance briefed as we walked. They are classified as extraterrestrial biological entities, ETBEs, or what popular culture calls greys. They are not peaceful. They are not benevolent. They are territorial. They see Earth as theirs. They've been here for approximately 50,000 years. Humans are, from their perspective, an invasive species. They tolerate us as long as we respect boundaries. When we don't, they respond with force. We walked through 3 more security checkpoints, each corridor going deeper. The walls changed from concrete to something older. Stone. Carved stone. And on that stone, I saw something that made my blood cold. Petroglyphs. Ancient petroglyphs. Native American style. Figures with large heads and big eyes, and warnings. I could read some of it. My grandmother was Paiute. She taught me some of the old symbols. These symbols said, Sky people, ancient, dangerous, stay away. The facility wasn't built here randomly, Vance said, noticing where I was looking. This location has been known to local tribes for thousands of years. They called it the Prison of Sky People. When the Air Force selected this site in 1955 for U-2 testing, they discovered the real reason indigenous people avoided this area. We didn't build Area 51 to study aliens who crashed here. We built it on top of a location where aliens had been contained, or living, for millennia. Ma'am, if they've been here that long, why haven't they taken over? Chen asked. Because there aren't many of them. Best we can determine, maybe a few thousand worldwide, living underground, in caves, in deep facilities like this one. They had some kind of population collapse around 12,000 years ago. We don't know why. What we do know is that they're survivors, highly intelligent, telepathic, and extremely dangerous when threatened. We reached the main containment area. A large circular room with 12 holding cells arranged around the perimeter. Each cell was behind 4-inch bulletproof glass. Each had its own life support system. Each was monitored by dozens of cameras and sensors. 6 cells were occupied. I saw my first gray that night. And understanding why people fear them is easy once you've actually seen one. They're not cute. Not like the movie Aliens with big eyes and gentle faces. These were predators. You could see it in the way they moved, the way they watched us. 4 feet tall, gray skin with a slight greenish tint, disproportionately large heads, those famous black, almond-shaped eyes. But in person, those eyes weren't mysterious or wise. They were calculating, intelligent, cold. The eyes of something that saw humans as threats to be eliminated or resources to be controlled. and you could feel them in your mind. The second you made eye contact, you felt pressure, like something pressing against your thoughts, trying to get in, trying to read you, trying to control you. Don't stare at them, Vance warned. They use eye contact to establish telepathic connections. Once connected, they can influence thoughts, create hallucinations, manipulate memory. In extreme cases, they can shut down autonomic functions. Stop your heart, stop your breathing, just by thinking it. How do we defend against that? I asked. You don't. Best defense is avoid eye contact. Keep moving. Don't let them establish strong connection. And if you feel them in your head, if you start seeing things that aren't there, hearing voices, experiencing memories that aren't yours, you report immediately and we extract you. Clear? Clear, ma'am. Our team was split into 2 5-man fire teams. Alpha team led by me. Bravo team led by Chen. We'd work 12-hour shifts patrolling Level 7. 2 teams rotating. Always 10 Marines on duty. Always watching the cells. Always ready for... What? They didn't tell us. But the implication was clear. Containment breaches had happened before. My team. Private David Jackson, 22, from Georgia, family man. Lance Corporal Miguel Martinez, 24, from Texas, former police. Corporal James Williams, 26, from Ohio, combat veteran. Private Jennifer Kim, 23, from Ohio, combat veteran. From California, sharpshooter. And me, Chen's team. Sergeant John Brooks, 29, from New York, explosive ordnance. Private Abdul Hassan, 25, from Michigan, communications. Private Lisa Anderson, 24, from Florida, medic. Lance Corporal Robert Torres, 27, from Colorado, martial arts expert. And Chen herself. 10 Marines, all experienced, all stable, all ready for whatever classified weirdness Area 51 could throw at us. We weren't ready for what happened at 0300 on September 21st. The first 12 hours were routine. Patrol corridors, monitor cells, check systems. The Greys watched us constantly. I could feel them trying to get into my head. Pressure. Whispers. Images flickering at the edge of vision. My grandmother's face. My childhood home. Memories that felt too vivid, too present. You feeling it? Martinez asked during hour 8. Yeah, like they're in my head, watching memories. Same. I keep seeing my daughter. She's in Texas, safe. But I keep seeing her here, in the facility. Doesn't make sense. That's them. Vance said they pull from your memories. Use what you love against you. Don't trust anything you see. But knowing that intellectually and experiencing it are different things. Around hour 10, Jackson started acting strange, staring at empty corridors, talking to people who weren't there. Jackson, you okay? My wife is here. I can hear her. She needs help. She's lost in the facility. Your wife is in Georgia. That's them in your head. Fight it. No, I can hear her. She's scared. I have to find her. I reported it. They pulled Jackson off patrol. Psychological contamination. He'd been exposed too long. Established too strong a connection with one of the Greys. He spent the next 6 hours in decontamination. They said he'd be okay, that the telepathic influence would fade with distance and time. They were wrong. But we didn't know that yet. At midnight, we switched with Bravo team. Chen's people took over patrol. We went to the break room to rest. 6 hours off. 6 hours to sleep in rooms that were shielded against telepathic influence. Copper mesh in the walls. Some kind of electromagnetic field. It helped. In those rooms, you couldn't feel the Greys. Couldn't feel that pressure in your head. You could think clearly. I should have slept, couldn't. Kept thinking about what Vance had said. 50,000 years. The Greys had been on Earth for 50,000 years. Humans had only been behaviorally modern for what? 200,000 years? And only technologically advanced for a few hundred years. We'd built our most secret facility on top of their home. Their prison, whatever this place was to them. My grandmother's words came back to me. She'd told me stories as a kid, about the Sky People, about how they lived in the mountains and caves of Nevada long before humans arrived, about how Paiute tribes respected their boundaries, left offerings, avoided certain areas. She'd said the Sky People were dangerous, that they could get inside your head, make you see things, make you do things. I'd thought they were just stories, mythology, cultural folklore passed down through generations. They weren't stories, they were warnings. Accurate warnings about actual entities that had been living underground in Nevada for longer than human civilization had existed. I managed maybe 3 hours of sleep before the alarm woke me at 2:45. Time to start the second shift. My team assembled in the ready room. Jackson was there. He looked better. Said the decontamination worked. Said he could handle it. We geared up, standard security loadout, M4 rifles, sidearms, tactical vests, flashlights, radios, and one new piece of equipment, mirrored visors. Vance insisted we wear them during night patrols, prevent direct eye contact with the entities, reduce telepathic connection strength. At 0300 exactly, we relieved Chen's team, standard rotation. They looked exhausted. Hassan reported increasing telepathic activity. All 6 Greys were active, moving around their cells, pressing against the glass, watching the Marines with unusual intensity. They're agitated, Hassan said. More than usual, like they know something's coming. Probably just the shift change, I replied. We'll watch them. Get some rest. Chen's team headed to decontamination and sleep. My team took positions throughout Level 7. Jackson and Martinez took Corridor A. Williams and Kim took Corridor B. I took the main observation room where I could monitor all 12 cells simultaneously on security feeds. That's where I was when the lights went out. At 0317, every light on Level 7 shut down. Not flickering, not dimming, just instant darkness. The kind of darkness you only experience underground. Absolute, complete. Then emergency lighting kicked in. Red lights, barely enough to see, shadows everywhere. The alarm started immediately. Power failure, Level 7. Backup systems engaged. I grabbed my radio. All teams report. Martinez here. We're good. What happened? Power failure. Stay alert. Could be routine maintenance. Could be... Then I heard it. A sound that made my stomach drop. Click. 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 6 electronic locks disengaging. 6 cell doors opening. The automated containment system had failed, or been compromised, or something had overridden it. Containment breach. Level 7. All personnel to defense positions. Entities loose. Repeat, entities loose. Through the observation window, I watched 6 holding cells open simultaneously. Watched 6 gray entities emerge into the corridors of Level 7. Watched them disappear into the shadows with inhuman speed. I keyed the radio. All Marines, we have 6 entities loose. Stay together. Do not engage alone. Do not make direct eye contact. Watch for telepathic manipulation. Chen, get your team back down here now. Static on the radio. Then Chen's voice, distorted. Copy. Bravo team responding. ETA 5 minutes. 5 minutes. My team had to survive 5 minutes until reinforcements arrived. 5 minutes with 6 telepathic predators loose in a facility 7 levels underground. 5 minutes before we learned that bullets don't stop something that can kill you with a thought. I saw Jackson first on the security feeds. He was standing in Corridor A, rifle lowered, staring at empty space. Martinez was next to him, saying something, but Jackson wasn't responding. Just staring, smiling. "Martinez, get away from Jackson. That's telepathic control." Too late. Jackson turned, raised his rifle, and shot Martinez in the chest. 3 rounds, center mass. Martinez went down hard. "Jackson, stand down!" But Jackson wasn't Jackson anymore. Not really. Something was wearing him, using him. I could see it in his eyes on the camera feed. They'd changed. Darker, wider, like something else was looking out through his face. Then Jackson dropped his rifle. Walked calmly toward the Corridor C. Toward the restricted section where we'd been told never to go. Toward the older part of the facility. The part that predated 1947. The part carved from stone by something that wasn't human. Williams Kim, intercept Jackson. Non-lethal if possible. Copy. I watched them move toward Jackson on the feeds. Watched Williams catch up to him. Watched Williams try to restrain him. Watched Jackson turn with impossible strength and throw Williams into the wall hard enough to crack the concrete. Then Jackson spoke. But it wasn't his voice. It was something else, using his vocal cords. "You are in our home. You are the invaders. You are the infection. We were here first. This is our world. Leave or become us." And Jackson's eyes rolled back. His body seized, and he collapsed. When Williams checked him, Jackson's pupils were fully dilated, fixed. His brain was still active on the biomonitor, but he was gone. Catatonic. Whatever had been in his mind had taken what it wanted and left him empty. That was 1 Marine down in the first 3 minutes. I had no idea that by sunrise I'd lose 7 more. Martinez was bleeding out in Corridor A. Jackson was catatonic in Corridor C, his mind completely gone. And somewhere in the red-lit darkness of Level 7, 6 telepathic entities were hunting my Marines. I hit the facility-wide alarm. "Colonel Vance, this is Webb. We have containment breach Level 7. 2 casualties already. Martinez KIA, Jackson brain dead. 6 entities loose. Request immediate armed response." Static. Then Vance's voice, cold and professional. "Negative on armed response, Sergeant. Level 7 is now under Protocol Omega. Facility is sealed. No personnel in or out until entities are recontained or neutralized. You have authorization to use lethal force. Reinforcements cannot enter sealed zone. Ma'am, we have wounded. Protocol Omega is absolute. Level 7 remains sealed until threat is eliminated. You have your orders. Vance out." The radio went silent. I understood what she wasn't saying. We were locked in. 7 levels underground, with 6 entities that could kill with thoughts. And the government's protocol was simple. Seal the level, let everyone inside deal with it or die. Don't let anything escape to surface. We were expendable. The surface was not. Chen's voice crackled on the radio. "Webb, we're at the Level 6 access. Door won't open. Security system locked us out. That's Protocol Omega. Level's sealed. You can't get to us. Bullshit. We're not leaving you down there. You don't have a choice. Neither do we. We've got 6 entities loose and 4 Marines. We handle this ourselves or we die trying." I switched to my team channel. "Williams, Kim, fall back to observation room. We consolidate. We don't hunt them alone. They want us separated. We stay together. We survive." Williams responded. "Copy." Moving now. What about Martinez? I checked the biomonitor, flatlining. He's gone. Leave him. Get here now. They arrived 90 seconds later. 2 Marines left from my team. Williams looked shaken. Kim looked angry. Both looked scared. I didn't blame them. I was scared too. Where are they? Kim asked. The entities. Where'd they go? I checked security feeds. 12 cameras covering level 7. 8 were offline. Of the 4 still working, I could see empty corridors, red emergency lights, shadows, but no entities. They'd disappeared into the facility like they knew its layout better than we did, which, I realized, they probably did. If this facility had been built on top of their territory, if they'd been here for 50,000 years, they knew every corridor, every vent, every hidden passage. This was their home. We were the intruders. They're not showing on cameras, I said. Either they're avoiding them or they disabled them. Williams, check the armory. Get us anything heavier than rifles. Shotguns, grenades, anything. On it. Williams headed to the small arms locker in the observation room. We kept additional weapons for emergencies. Mossberg 590 shotguns, M67 fragmentation grenades, flashbang grenades. He started loading us up when the lights came back on. Full power. Bright LED lighting flooding level 7. I blinked against the sudden glare, and in that moment of adjustment, I saw it. Standing in Corridor B, 20 feet from our position. 4 feet tall. Gray skin. Black eyes. Just standing there, watching us. Not moving. Not attacking. Just observing. Contact! Kim raised her rifle. Wait! I grabbed her barrel. Don't fire yet, it hasn't attacked, it's just watching. What's it doing? Testing us, learning us, or... The entity tilted its head, and I felt it. Pressure in my mind. Gentle at first, like someone knocking on a door, then stronger. Images flooding my consciousness. My grandmother. Young. Healthy, in traditional Paiute dress, speaking to me. Marcus, they are sky people, ancient ones. They've been in Nevada since before memory, since before Paiute came to this land. They were here when ice covered the world. They were here when giant animals walked. They were here first. This is their place, you must leave. That's not real, I said aloud. My grandmother is 80 years old and lives in Reno. This is telepathic manipulation. But it felt real. Looked real. Her voice was perfect. The memory was perfect. Except it wasn't a memory. It was being created in real time by something that had accessed my thoughts about my grandmother and was using that information to communicate. They don't want war, my grandmother's image said. They want respect, want acknowledgement. You built prison on sacred ground, captured them, studied them, treated them like specimens. They are not specimens, they are people. Older than human people. Different people. But people. Let them go. Seal this place. Leave them in peace. I can't do that. Then you will die here. All of you. They are patient, they are many. You are few. This place has 8 levels. You are on level 7. Level 8 is older, deeper, has more of them. Many more. They wake now. They come now. You have minutes to decide. The entity in the corridor moved, stepped forward, and I saw its mouth move. Saw it speak with a voice that sounded like wind through desert rocks. Leave or die, simple choice. Then it was gone. Not running, not hiding, just gone. 1 second visible, Next second, not there. Like it had stepped out of our reality. What the hell was that? Williams demanded. Communication, negotiation, maybe. Or psychological warfare, hard to tell. Kim was shaking. Did you see your grandmother, too? Or was that just you? Just me. They pull from individual minds, create personalized manipulations. What did you see? My mom. She died 3 years ago. Cancer. But I just saw her, healthy, smiling, telling me to leave this place, telling me level 8 is waking up. What's level 8? I pulled up facility schematics on the computer. 7 levels shown. Level 7 was the lowest on official diagrams, but there was space below, gaps in the elevation measurements, inconsistencies in the structural plans. There is a level 8, I realized. They just don't put it on official maps. It's older, probably what existed before the Air Force got here. Before 1955, before 1947, maybe before humans knew this place existed. The radio crackled. Chen's voice. Webb, we're getting seismic activity readings. Something's moving underground, below level 7, multiple signatures, dozens, maybe more. That's level 8. The entity said it's waking up, said there are more of them down there. How many more? They didn't specify, but if level 7 had 6, and level 8 is larger. I did the math, didn't like the answer. Could be dozens, could be hundreds. We need to get you out of there. Can't. Protocol Omega. Levels sealed until threat is neutralized. And I don't think we can neutralize this threat. We're not fighting 6 entities. We're fighting an entire underground population that's been here since the Ice Age. A scream cut through the radio. Hassan. Chen's team. From level 6, above us. Outside the sealed zone. They should have been safe. Hassan's down! That was Brooks. Something grabbed him, pulled him into the wall, into a ventilation shaft. It was... Jesus Christ, it wasn't human. It was one of them. They're in the vents, I said. They're bypassing the sealed doors using ventilation systems. Chen, get your team away from any vents. They can access level 6, maybe higher. Too late. I heard gunfire over the radio. Automatic fire. M4 rifles. Lots of rounds. Then screaming. Then silence. Chen, report. Static. Bravo team, anyone respond? More static. Then a voice. Chen's voice, but wrong. Flat, emotionless. They are in us now. They are wearing us. You cannot tell difference. One of your team is not your team. Look closely. See the truth. I spun around. Williams and Kim were both there. Both looking normal, both armed. Both watching me with concerned expressions. Sarge, you okay? Williams asked. Yeah, one of you isn't you. That's what it said. One of you is them. Wearing your face. Using telepathy to appear human. Williams and Kim looked at each other. Then back at me. Both equally confused. Both equally human-seeming. How do we prove we're us? Kim asked. How do we know you're you? Good question. How do you prove identity to someone when the threat can perfectly mimic appearance, voice, memories, everything? When the entity can read minds and replicate behavior patterns exactly? Personal information, I said. Something only we'd know. Williams, what's your daughter's name? Emma. She's 6. Lives in Ohio with my ex-wife. Kim, why did you join the Marines? My brother was killed in Afghanistan, 2015. I joined to honor him, to finish what he started. Both answers seemed genuine, but genuine didn't mean real. The entities could pull that information from their minds and use it to convince me they were human. I tried a different approach. Okay, ask me something only I'd know, Williams thought. Your grandmother told you stories about this place, about sky people. What did she call them in Paiute? Numa Nanimbe, ancient people. The ones who were here before the Numa, the Paiute people, arrived. She said they lived in caves in the mountains, that they could enter dreams, that they protected certain areas and humans should respect those boundaries. Williams nodded, seemed satisfied, but Kim was watching me carefully. Too carefully. Her eyes were wrong, just slightly. The pupils were too wide, too dark, like something else was looking out through her face. Kim, what's your brother's name? She smiled. David, Lance Corporal David Kim, KIA Helmand Province, Afghanistan, March 14, 2015. Correct answer. But the smile was wrong, too wide, too many teeth showing, and her eyes were getting darker, wider, the pupils expanding to fill the entire iris. Williams, shoot her. What? Sarge, that's... Shoot her now! Williams hesitated 1 second. In that second, Kim moved. Inhuman speed, grabbed Williams' rifle, yanked it from his hands, threw it across the room, then grabbed Williams by the throat and lifted him off the ground with impossible strength for a 130-pound woman. Williams choked, struggled, his feet kicking 6 inches off the ground. Kim, or whatever was wearing Kim's body, tilted its head and spoke with that wind-through-rocks voice. You see now, we can wear you, use you, make you into us. Your friend Kim is still inside, screaming, watching what we do with her body, unable to stop us. This is what happens when you imprison us, when you study us like animals, when you forget we were here first. I raised my rifle, center mass, but hesitated. If Kim was still in there somewhere, if she was conscious and trapped, could I shoot her body to stop the entity controlling it? The thing wearing Kim saw my hesitation, smiled wider. You cannot kill us without killing her. Dilemma. We are bonded. Her consciousness trapped in ours. We die. She dies. She dies. We simply move to another body. You cannot win. William's face was turning purple. Oxygen deprivation. Seconds from unconsciousness. Seconds from death. I made the choice, aimed for the head, fired 3 rounds. Kim's body dropped. Williams fell. Gasped, clutched his throat. Alive, I ran to Kim. Her body was dead. Exit wounds, brain death, but her eyes, even in death, were still too wide, too dark, and I swear I saw something leave her body. A shadow, a shimmer in the air, something intangible moving away from the corpse and disappearing into the walls. Did you see that? I asked Williams. He nodded, still gasping. Saw it, left her body, went into the wall. It's not dead, just without a host. How many Marines are left? Williams checked his roster. Your team, you, me. Kim is gone. Jackson is brain dead. Martinez is dead. Chen's team, unknown. Last contact, they were being attacked on level 6. Assume casualties. 2 Marines confirmed alive. Maybe 5 more if Chen's team survived. 7 out of 10. 3 confirmed dead in 30 minutes. And level 8 was waking up. The lights went out again. Red emergency lights. And through the observation window, I saw them. Dozens of them. Small, gray figures emerging from vents, from hidden passages, from sections of the facility we didn't know existed. All 4 feet tall. All with those black eyes. All moving with coordinated precision. They weren't individual entities. They were a collective, a hive, communicating telepathically, coordinating attacks, using our own minds against us. Williams saw them too. There's too many. We can't fight that many. We don't fight, we run. We get to level 6. We regroup with whoever's left. We find a way to unseal the facility. and we get the hell out before they decide to kill us all. We ran. Through corridors lit only by emergency lights. Past Martinez's body. Past Jackson's catatonic form still standing in Corridor C like a statue. Past holding cells now empty and open. Toward the emergency stairs that connected all 8 levels. Behind us, I heard them. Dozens of footsteps. Small feet, moving fast, chasing us, hurting us, driving us deeper into the facility rather than toward escape. We reached the stairwell, started climbing, level 7 to level 6. 50 steps. Halfway up, I heard William scream, looked back. He was floating. 6 inches off the ground. Surrounded by 3 gray entities. They weren't touching him, just standing around him. And he was floating. Telekinesis. They had telekinesis. They could manipulate physical matter with their minds. Could lift a 200-pound Marine off the ground without touching him. William's eyes went wide. His mouth opened. And he started aging, fast, his hair graying, skin wrinkling, body withering. In 30 seconds, Williams went from 26 years old to elderly. His heart gave out. He died of old age before hitting the ground. They could control time, or biological processes, or something I didn't have words for. They could accelerate aging, could kill by fast-forwarding your body's clock. I ran, nothing else to do, couldn't help Williams, couldn't fight them, could only run and hope I reached level 6 before they decided to age me to death. I burst through the level 6 access door, sealed it behind me, looked for Chen's team, found them. All 5 of them standing in a circle, staring at each other. Not moving, not speaking, just staring. "Chen!" She didn't respond. None of them did. They were locked in some kind of telepathic battle, fighting in their minds, trying to determine who was human and who was entity, paralyzed by uncertainty and fear. I was alone, 1 Marine left, 9 casualties, and an entire facility of telepathic entities between me and the surface. 1 Marine. That's what I'd been reduced to. 1 Marine against dozens, maybe hundreds, of telepathic entities 7 levels underground in the most classified facility on Earth. And 5 more Marines standing in a circle on level 6, trapped in their own minds, unable to move or speak or help. I had maybe 5 minutes before the entities from level 7 reached level 6. 5 minutes to break whatever telepathic hold was keeping Chen's team paralyzed. 5 minutes to find a way out before Protocol Omega did whatever Protocol Omega was designed to do. I approached the circle carefully. Chen, Brooks, Hassas Anderson, Torres, all standing motionless. Eyes open but unfocused, breathing but unresponsive. Their biomonitors showed elevated heart rates, extreme stress, but they were alive. "Chen, can you hear me?" Nothing. She stared straight ahead, through me, at something only she could see. I tried a different approach, grabbed her shoulders, shook her. "Corporal Chen, snap out of it. That's an order." Her eyes focused, barely. Looked at me, looked through me, looked at something behind me. Her mouth moved, whispered, "They're in our heads. All of them. Showing us things. We can't tell what's real. Can't tell who's human. Can't trust anything. Even you might be them. I'm real. I'm human. And we need to move now." How do I know that? How do I know you're not wearing Webb's face, using his voice? They can do that. We saw them do that to Kim. Saw them wear her like a suit. How do I know you're you? Valid question. I needed proof. Something only human Webb would know. Something the entities couldn't pull from memories because it wasn't a memory. It was happening right now in real time. "Your team is paralyzed. Hassan, Brooks, Anderson, Torres. They're all standing around you in a circle. You're on level 6. The access door behind me leads to level 7 where the entities are. We have maybe 3 minutes before they come through that door. I need you to trust me. I need you to fight whatever's in your head and trust that I'm human. Can you do that? Chen's eyes focused more, clarity returning. She blinked, looked at her team, saw them standing motionless, saw the reality matching what I'd said. If I were an entity, I'd be showing her something different, some manipulated version designed to control her. "You're really you," she said. Okay, how do we break this? How do we get them out of whatever trap they're in?" "I don't know, but we need to try. We need bodies. We need numbers. Even if half of them are compromised, we need the help." I moved to Brooks, former EOD tech, explosives expert. If anyone could get us out of a sealed facility, it was him. I slapped him, hard, across the face. No response. Slapped him again, still nothing. Chen tried Hessen, shaking him, shouting at him. His eyes flickered, tracked toward her. His mouth moved. "You're not real. You're them. You're trying to trick me. I won't follow. I won't." Then he collapsed. Just dropped. Unconscious. Biomonitor still reading life signs, but his consciousness had shut down. Self-preservation response. His mind couldn't handle the stress, couldn't determine reality from telepathic manipulation, so it just turned off. "We're losing them," Chen said. "Whatever the entities did to them, it's breaking their minds. We need to get them out of here, need to get everyone to surface, to safety, away from the telepathic influence. Level is sealed. Protocol Omega. We can't get out until threat is neutralized. Then we neutralize it. How do we kill them? How do we—" The level 7 access door exploded. Not from breaching charges, from force. Telekinetic force. Metal door ripped from its hinges and thrown across level 6 like it weighed nothing. And through that opening came gray entities, 20, 30, more, all 4 feet tall, all moving with coordinated precision, all heading directly toward us. "Run!" Chen and I ran. Toward the level 5 access stairwell. Behind us, I heard the rest of Chen's team. Hassan, Brooks, Anderson, Torres screaming. The entities had reached them, were doing to them what they'd done to Jackson, to Williams, taking their minds, using their bodies, or just killing them. I didn't look back. Couldn't help them. Could only run and hope Chen and I survived. We reached the stairwell, started climbing. Level 6 to level 5. The stairs were narrow, metal, our boots echoing. Behind us, the sound of dozens of small feet following. They weren't running, didn't need to run. They knew we were trapped, knew Protocol Omega had sealed every exit, knew we'd eventually run out of levels to climb. "What's the plan?" Chen gasped as we climbed. "We can't fight them, can't escape. What do we do?" "We get to surface, we override Protocol Omega, we unseal the facility, and we get out before they kill us or worse." "How do we override Protocol Omega?" "I don't know. But Vance is up there. She has command authority. She can unseal it." "You think she will? Think she'll risk letting these things reach surface?" I didn't answer, because the truth was, no. Vance wouldn't risk it. Protocol Omega existed for exactly this scenario. Containment breach. Multiple casualties. Entities loose. The protocol was simple. Seal the facility, let everyone inside fight or die, don't let anything escape to surface. Ever. Even if that meant sacrificing everyone underground. We reached level 5. Burst through the access door. This level was different. Not containment cells. Not biological research. This was technology, weapons, advanced systems. and in the center of the level, a large chamber with something that looked like a bomb. "What is that?" Chen asked. I read the label. Thermobaric device. Fuel air explosive. Big enough to incinerate everything within a quarter-mile radius. That's the failsafe. That's what Protocol Omega does if containment can't be re-established. It destroys the entire facility, collapses all 8 levels, buries everything underground, makes sure nothing escapes. When does it activate? I checked the timer. 90 minutes. It started counting when the containment breach was detected. We have 90 minutes to get to surface and get clear before this entire facility becomes a crater. We need to move faster. We ran for the Level 4 access. Made it halfway across Level 5 when Chen stopped, grabbed my arm, pointed at the corridor ahead. Standing in our path, a gray entity. But this one was different. Taller, maybe 5 feet. Darker gray skin, eyes more purple than black. It radiated authority, command. This was a leader, an alpha. It spoke English. Perfect English with no accent, like it had been speaking human languages for thousands of years. You have 73 minutes before the weapon activates. Not enough time to reach surface. Not enough time to escape blast radius. You will die here, with us. Your government has decided we all die, to protect secret, to prevent us from reaching surface. This is acceptable to us. We have lived long enough. 50,000 years is sufficient. We are tired. We welcome the end. Then let us go, I said. You want to die? Fine. Stay here. Let the bomb do its work. But let us leave. We didn't start this. We're just security, just following orders. The entity tilted its head. You are all following orders, all believing you serve justice, serve protection, serve your species, but you serve lies. You were told we are hostile. We are not. We are territorial, different concept. We lived here peacefully for millennia until your kind discovered us, studied us, imprisoned us, experimented on us. We responded appropriately. We defended our home. And now your leaders destroy that home rather than acknowledge our existence, rather than admit they built their secrets on top of our graves. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. But we need to leave, please. The entity regarded us for a long moment, then stepped aside. You may attempt escape. We will not stop you, but others might. Not all of us agree with my decision. Some want all humans dead. Want revenge for 50,000 years of being treated as specimens, as threats, as things rather than people. You may encounter them as you climb. I cannot control them all. Telepathic Collective has limits. Thank you. Do not thank me. If you reach surface, you will tell truth. You will tell world we were here first. That humans are guests on our planet. That we demand respect. That next time your kind imprisons us, we will not be merciful. We will not allow bombs to solve the problem. We will reach surface, and we will reclaim what is ours. Understood? Understood. The entity stepped fully aside. We ran past it. Into the stairwell. Level 5 to Level 4, Level 4 to Level 3. Each level bringing us closer to surface. Closer to escape. Closer to fresh air and sunlight and safety. Level 3 was chaos. Marine bodies. Not my team. Different unit. They'd been stationed on upper levels, surface security. They'd tried to come down during the breach, tried to help. The entities had met them halfway, had killed them all. Dozen Marines dead. Torn apart, not by physical force, but by mental force. Their skulls had imploded from telekinetic pressure. Their brains liquefied by telepathic assault. Chen vomited. I wanted to. kept moving. Stepped over bodies. Tried not to look at faces. Tried not to imagine dying that way. Your own skull crushing inward because something thought it into happening. Level 2. More bodies. Scientists this time. Researchers. They'd been trying to flee. Had been caught in corridors. Killed by entities who'd escaped through ventilation systems. Who'd bypassed sealed doors. Who'd hunted them systematically. Level 1. Empty. No bodies, no entities. Just abandoned workstations and emergency lights. We were close. So close to surface. We reached the main elevator. Sealed. Override lock active. Protocol Omega had disabled normal access. We needed command authorization to unseal it. Security station, I said. Vance might still be there. She has override codes. We ran to the security office, found Vance. She was alive, sitting at her desk, watching security feeds, watching the massacre on levels 7 through 3, watching Marines and scientists die, watching entities move through the facility like they owned it. Colonel, we need override authorization. We need to get to surface. We have, I checked my watch, 52 minutes before the thermobaric device activates. Vance didn't look at us, kept watching the feeds. I can't unseal the facility. Protocol Omega is absolute. If I unseal, the entities could reach surface, could escape into Nevada, could spread. The risk is unacceptable. They don't want to escape. Their leader told us. They want to die. They're tired. They've been here 50,000 years. They just want it to end. And you believe them? You trust the words of entities that have killed 8 of your teammates? That have killed dozens of other personnel? That can manipulate your thoughts and perceptions? They could be lying, making you think they want to stay, when really they want you to open the doors so they can escape. Or they're telling the truth, or we're all about to die in a fuel air explosion because you're too afraid to take that chance. Colonel, please, open the doors. Let us evacuate. If the entities follow, if they try to escape, you can reseal, but give us a chance. Give the survivors a chance. Vance finally looked at me. Her eyes were tired, haunted. She'd known this day would come. Had known eventually something would breach containment. Had known she'd have to make this decision. Seal the facility and kill everyone inside, or risk global exposure of extraterrestrial existence. How many survivors? She asked. 2 confirmed, me and Chen. Possibly others trapped on lower levels. But we're the only ones who made it to level 1. 2 out of 10. 20% survival rate. Acceptable losses for containment of existential threat. Colonel, but... She typed something. Override codes. Command authorization. The elevator hissed. Pressurization equalizing, door unlocking. But I'm tired too. Tired of sacrifices. Tired of secrets. Tired of pretending we're the only intelligent species on this planet when we've had proof otherwise since before I was born. You get to surface. You get clear of the blast zone. You never speak of this to anyone. You take whatever story we tell you and you live with it. Understood? Understood. Then go. 49 minutes. Elevator to surface is 3 minutes. You need to be 5 miles clear of facility when the bomb goes off. Run. Don't stop. Don't look back. Run. We ran into the elevator. Doors closing. Ascending, level 1 to surface. 3 minutes feeling like 3 hours. The elevator rising through hundreds of feet of earth and rock and classified secrets. Rising toward freedom, toward survival, toward a surface world that didn't know what was happening 7 levels below Nevada desert. The elevator opened. Surface level, night, stars, cold desert air, the most beautiful things I'd ever experienced. Move, 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 Vance's voice over the facility PA system. All personnel evacuate to minimum safe distance, 5 miles. Protocol Omega executing in 46 minutes. Personnel were running from buildings. Vehicles starting. Helicopters spinning up. The entire surface facility evacuating. Getting clear before the underground complex detonated. Before the failsafe buried 50,000 years of alien presence under a collapsed crater. Chen and I ran to a Humvee. Engine already running. Driver inside. Get in. We jumped in. Vehicle accelerated. Out of the facility, onto the access road, into the Nevada desert. Away from Area 51. Away from Groom Lake. Away from the underground prison that had held the real owners of Earth. Behind us, I saw them. Dozens of small figures emerging from ventilation shafts, from hidden access points. Gray entities reaching the surface, standing in the cool desert air, looking up at stars they hadn't seen in decades. Some spread their arms, some tilted their heads back. Some just stood motionless, accepting their fate. They weren't running, weren't trying to escape. Were just experiencing the surface one last time before the explosion buried them forever. The driver pushed the vehicle to its limit. 60 miles per hour across rough desert terrain. We hit 3 miles, 4 miles, 4.5. At 5 miles, the driver stopped, turned the vehicle around, pointed it toward the facility. 6 minutes, he said. Watch. We watched. The entire base visible in the distance. Small lights, activity. And then, at exactly 90 minutes after the initial containment breach, the lights disappeared. The ground shook. Hard. Earthquake strong. A massive whump of displaced air. The signature of a thermobaric explosion. Fuel dispersed. Ignited. Consuming all oxygen in a massive area. Creating a pressure wave that liquefied anything organic. Collapsed anything structural. A crater appeared where the facility had been. Not a small crater, a massive crater, 1/4 mile across, hundreds of feet deep, taking with it all 8 levels, all the containment cells, all the technology, all the research, all the bodies of Marines and scientists and entities who'd died in the breach, and all the gray entities who'd reached the surface, gone, incinerated, buried, erased. It's done, the driver said. Protocol Omega complete. Facility destroyed. All assets neutralized. Cover story is earthquake. Natural seismic event, gas, main explosion at Groom Lake, some casualties. Nothing classified involved. Official story ready by morning. Chen stared at the crater. They told the truth. They didn't try to escape. They just wanted it to end. Yeah, I said, they did. And somewhere in my mind I felt one last telepathic whisper. The Alpha entity. The leader. One final message before the explosion took him. We were here first. Remember that. Tell others. Next time, respect what you don't understand. Next time, ask before you imprison. Next time, remember you are guests on our world. We showed mercy tonight, let you escape. Next time, we might not. Then silence. The telepathic presence gone, the entities gone. Level 7 gone. Area 51 gone, replaced by a crater and a cover story and 2 traumatized Marines who'd never be able to tell the truth. They took us to a facility I'm not allowed to name. It wasn't Area 51, that was a crater now. It was somewhere else in Nevada, underground, shielded, designed specifically for personnel who'd been exposed to extraterrestrial telepathic influence. For 72 hours, Chen and I were kept in isolation. Separate rooms, constant monitoring, medical tests, psychological evaluations, scans of our brains to determine if we'd been permanently compromised, if the entities had left anything behind. Sleeper programming telepathic markers, anything that might make us threats to national security. We passed. They determined we were still human, still ourselves, still trustworthy enough to be allowed to continue existing rather than being disappeared for knowing too much. On the fourth day, they brought us together for debriefing. A room with no windows, a table, 3 chairs. Chen and I on one side, a man in a suit on the other. No name given, no agency identified, just the man who handles situations like this. Sergeant Webb, Corporal Chen, what you experienced at Groom Lake was classified above top secret. You will sign documents acknowledging that everything you saw, everything you experienced, everything you think you know, none of it happened officially. The facility didn't exist. The entities didn't exist. Your teammates died in a training accident, a gas leak, an earthquake. Whatever story we tell you is the story you'll repeat for the rest of your lives. Understood? Understood, I said. But I need to know. What were they, really? The Greys? Were they actually from Earth? Were they really here for 50,000 years? The man considered me, then made a decision. What I'm about to tell you is the actual classified truth. Not the cover story. The truth that maybe 100 people on Earth know. The entities you encountered at Groom Lake are not extraterrestrial. They're terrestrial, native to Earth. They evolved here, parallel evolution to humans, possibly earlier. Archaeological evidence suggests presence dating back at least 50,000 years, possibly further. They were here first, Chen said quietly. They were here first, the man confirmed. Humans are approximately 200,000 years old as a species. Behaviorally modern for about 50,000 years. The Greys, we call them Archons internally, predate modern humans. They lived on Earth when Neanderthals existed, when Denisovans existed, when humans were just another species of ape trying to survive. They saw us evolve, saw us spread, saw us become dominant, and they adapted by going underground, hiding, becoming cryptids, becoming myths. Why? I asked. If they were here first, why hide? Why not fight for the surface? Population. At their peak, we estimate global Archon population was maybe 50,000. Compared to billions of humans, they couldn't fight us, couldn't compete with our numbers, so they retreated, went underground, stayed hidden, developed telepathic abilities as defense mechanism, used mental influence to make humans avoid their territories, created folklore, legends, sacred sites, ways to keep humans away without direct confrontation. Area 51 was built on one of their sites, Chen said. Yes. The location that became Groom Lake was known to Paiute tribes as the prison of sky people. Not a prison humans built. A prison the Archons built for their own criminals or outcasts. We don't fully understand their social structure. But that location housed Archons who'd been rejected by their own kind. Dangerous ones. Violent ones. Ones who'd broken whatever laws or customs they had. When the Air Force discovered the site in 1955, they found evidence of ancient subterranean structures. They excavated. They found living Archons. And instead of acknowledging them, instead of negotiating, the government decided to study them. Contain them, use them for research into telepathy, telekinesis, advanced biology. We imprisoned them, I said. We imprisoned them for 70 years, took their technology, learned from them, tried to weaponize their abilities, and wondered why they were hostile, why they attacked personnel, why containment breaches happened every few years. We treated them like animals, like specimens, when they were actually people. Just different people. People who were here before us. The room was silent for a moment, the weight of that truth settling over us. We weren't the dominant species. We weren't alone. We'd never been alone. We'd just been arrogant enough to think we were. The official story, the man continued, is that a 5.2 magnitude earthquake struck Groom Lake on September 21st, 2019. The earthquake caused structural damage to underground gas mains. The resulting explosion killed 8 Marines and 14 civilian contractors. The facility was deemed unsafe and decommissioned. All operations transferred to other locations. That's the story. That's what happened officially. And the truth? Chen asked. The truth is, Protocol Omega worked as designed. Containment breach was detected. Facility was sealed. Thermobaric failsafe activated. Everything underground. Entities, research, evidence, bodies, was incinerated and buried under 300 feet of collapsed earth and rock. The Archons at that site are dead, gone, erased, problem solved. Except, I said, the Alpha entity told me there are more. Level 8 existed. Deeper facilities, older sites. The Archons at Groom Lake weren't the only ones. The man's expression didn't change. That's classified. So there are more. I didn't say that. You didn't deny it. The man stood. You survived an impossible situation. You showed courage, adaptability, intelligence. The Marine Corps is offering you both honorable discharges, medical separation, PTSD from the earthquake and explosion, full benefits, counseling, support. You'll never speak of what really happened. You'll accept the cover story, and you'll live quiet lives as decorated veterans who survived a tragedy. Or, Chen asked, or we can keep you in isolation indefinitely, for your own protection, for national security, for the safety of global social order that depends on people not knowing we share Earth with a telepathic species that's been here longer than us. Your choice. It wasn't really a choice. Take the discharge and the silence, or disappear forever into a black site where the only company would be our own minds and the memories of 8 dead Marines. We'll take the discharge, I said. Good. You'll be processed out within a week, relocated to different states, given new identities if you request them. The government will take care of you, as long as you keep the secret. And if the secret comes out, Chen asked, if someone else encounters Archons, if another containment breach happens somewhere else, then we handle it, the way we've been handling it for 70 years, the way we'll handle it for 70 more. The public cannot know. Will never know. The psychological, sociological, religious implications of acknowledging a non-human terrestrial intelligence would destabilize civilization. Better to maintain the cover. Better to let people think we're alone. Better to sacrifice a few who know the truth than risk global panic. We were dismissed, processed, discharged. Given documents, given cover stories, given new lives built on lies. Chen went to Arizona, dry desert, far from underground facilities, far from anywhere Archons might be. She wanted distance, wanted sun and open sky, and the certainty that nothing was beneath her feet. I stayed in Nevada, couldn't leave. Something about the state felt right, felt honest. This was their territory, their home. The least I could do was live here with respect, with acknowledgement of what I knew, with the truth even if I couldn't speak it publicly. I contacted my grandmother 3 weeks after discharge. Told her I'd been stationed at Groom Lake. Didn't tell her details. Couldn't. But I told her she'd been right. Told her the sky people were real, that her ancestors' warnings were accurate, that the Numa Ninimbi, the ancient people, were still here, still underground, still watching. She wasn't surprised. Our people knew. have always known. Paiute, Shoshone, Western Ute, all the tribes in Nevada and California knew about them, respected them, left them alone. Then white men came, didn't believe, didn't listen, built facilities on sacred grounds, disturbed things that should have been left alone. Now you've seen the price. 8 Marines dead, grandmother. 8 good people, plus 14 scientists, plus however many Archons died in the explosion, because we didn't listen to your people's warnings. Then tell others. Can't tell official truth. Government won't let you, but you can tell stories, can share folklore, can educate people about respecting indigenous knowledge, about believing when elders warn you. Maybe next time someone will listen before people die. I thought about that. About how to tell the truth without telling the truth. How to warn people without violating classification. How to honor the dead, human and Archon, without ending up disappeared into a black site. And I realized I already knew how. The same way indigenous people had been warning humans for thousands of years, through stories, through folklore, through myths that carried truth disguised as legend. I started writing anonymous posts on forums, cryptozoology sites, military veteran communities, never claiming it was real, never violating classification by stating it as fact, just sharing stories I heard about Area 51, about Level 7, about the entities that lived there, about the containment breach and Protocol Omega and the crater where the facility used to be. Some people believed, most didn't. Enough people paid attention that the story spread, that warnings went out, that maybe, the next time someone was assigned security detail at a classified underground facility, they'd remember the story. They'd be careful. They'd respect what they found down there. Chen started having dreams 6 months after discharge. Nightmares. She'd be back in Level 7, surrounded by Archons, hearing telepathic whispers, seeing her teammates die over and over. She'd wake up screaming, convinced they were still in her head, still influencing her, still using her. The doctors said PTSD, trauma-induced anxiety, normal response to extreme stress. Medication helped, therapy helped. But she knew the truth, knew it wasn't just trauma. The Archons had touched her mind, had been inside her thoughts, had left marks, scars, connections that maybe never fully healed. I had them too. The dreams, the whispers, the feeling of pressure in my skull when I thought too hard about what happened. Like something was still there, still watching, still connected across distance and time. Was it real telepathic influence? Or just psychological damage from experiencing things humans weren't meant to experience? I didn't know. Couldn't know. The government doctors who'd cleared us said we were fine, said we were human, said we were safe. But they'd also said the Archons were extraterrestrial, said they were hostile, said containment was secure. They'd been wrong about everything else. Maybe they were wrong about this too. I think about that night often. September 21st, 2019. The night Area 51 died. The night 8 Marines died. The night dozens of Archons died. The night we learned humans weren't alone. Weren't first. Weren't the dominant intelligent species on Earth. Just the loudest, the most numerous, the most arrogant. I think about the Alpha Archon's last telepathic message. We were here first. Remember that. Tell others. Next time, respect what you don't understand. Next time, not if, when, because there would be a next time. The Archons at Groom Lake were dead, but Level 8 had existed. Other facilities existed. Other containment sites. Other places where humans had imprisoned Earth's original intelligent species and called it research. Eventually, there would be another breach, another Protocol Omega, another group of Marines sent underground to fight enemies they couldn't comprehend with weapons that didn't work against telepathy. And maybe next time, someone would remember the story of Level 7. Would remember that the entities they were fighting weren't invaders, weren't threats from outer space, were native species defending their home from human encroachment. Maybe next time, someone would listen to indigenous warnings, would respect sacred sites, would acknowledge that humans don't have exclusive rights to Earth, that we share this planet with others who were here first, others who have more claim to this world than we do, or maybe next time would be the same as this time. Hubris, violence, containment breaches, cover-ups, more dead Marines, more dead Archons, more craters in the desert hiding evidence of what we'd rather not acknowledge. I drive past Groom Lake sometimes, the public road that gets you close enough to see the mountains, close enough to see where the facility used to be. It's still restricted, still guarded, still off-limits. But the crater is visible from certain angles, a scar in the desert, a reminder of what happens when you build secrets on top of other people's graves. Some nights I swear I can feel them down there, deep underground, deeper than Level 8, deeper than humans have excavated. The other Archons, the ones who survived, the ones who are still watching, still waiting, still deciding whether to stay hidden or reclaim their world from the species that thinks it owns everything. I don't know when they'll decide. Don't know if they'll show mercy, like the Alpha showed us. Don't know if next time there will be survivors to tell stories and write warnings. I just know they're there, have always been there, will always be there. In the caves, in the depths, in the places humans avoid without knowing why. In the sacred sites that indigenous people have been warning us about for thousands of years. They're there, watching, waiting, remembering that they were here first, and wondering how much longer they'll let us pretend we're alone. If you work at classified facilities, if you get assigned underground security, if someone tells you a level doesn't officially exist, believe them. And be careful what you find down there. Because not everything underground is dead. Not everything hidden wants to stay hidden, and not everything classified is classified for the reasons you think. The Archons are real, they were here first, and they haven't forgotten what we did to them at Area 51. Don't let there be a next time.